Some of you may remember this place, Walterboro drag strip. Okay guys, working on this top ring. Let's see what we got here before we go too much further. I've definitely learned to slow down, take my time. Alright. I'm shooting for a 30 thousandths gap, so I'm measuring with a 28. And when I can get a 28 in there, then I know I'm close. 28 won't quite go all the way in right now. Let me show you this real quick. This is a piston I'm using just to kind of set the depth, just to let everyone know. I mean, I've got a second ring on there, and the way the ring sticks out from the piston around the ring, it helps create a good square stop, so you can push that ring in all the way. And this ring on the piston keeps the piston from just sliding all the way into the block and burying the ring so far down in there. But got to go a little bit more on that. So let's get this one done. Another thing I like to do is I like to close the ring up and make sure I got a good square contact path. Remember now, these are 4155 times 0.007 was just a little over 29 thousandths. So by going 30, I'm already going just a tad bigger than spec. So I'm not too concerned if it's a snug 30. I would be a lot more concerned if I couldn't get 30 in at all. But that's a little snug 30 right there. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll pull this ring up the cylinder a little bit. Make sure I didn't, move the ring around by putting the gauge in there, and I'll re-square it. Now I know that ring's back square. Got a good clean 30 thousandths gauge here. And it goes in about halfway. So I'm gonna take one more or two more passes. Yes. 30 thousandths. 30 thousandths. So what I'll do, number 2, top ring is done. I'm gonna do 4, 6, and 8. I'm just gonna leave that one in there. And then when I get all the top rings done, I'll bring the number 2 piston up here, clean the ring off, put it on the piston, put the piston back in the box. Okay, let's do the top ring for cylinder number 4. Thirty thousandths. So this top ring is now gapped properly. Got a nice square gap. It's not beveled in or beveled out. It's nice and square. So this top ring is now done. That's it. So that's kind of the process of filing one ring on the top for this block. I wanted to zoom in a little better and show you something very important about an oil support ring. So here's the oil support ring on this diamond piston, and if you can see that dimple in that oil support ring facing towards us, it's important that that dimple gets rotated around and lines up with the opening of the piston for the pin. Let's go ahead and do number 4 piston. We got the oil support ring in, we got the dimple in between the opening of the bottom portion where the pin would go. We got the support ring pulled down. Now we want to put our rings on. I'm going to show you a screenshot in a minute how they should be positioned on the piston. I have a picture on the wall here that I look at because I'm not able to memorize all this stuff so easily as well. But let's go ahead and put these on. I'll do this so you can watch. So we got the compression ring on. Got it in the position I want it. I'm going to put the bottom oil ring on. This oil ring, the bottom oil ring, goes between the compression ring and the support ring. Now I'm going to put the top oil ring on, and of course it goes on top of the expander ring, between the top of the expander ring and the piston. Get it started. Work my way around. Okay. Now we're ready for the Napier second ring. And the Napier second ring has a top and a bottom, and I see my hook is going to go down on the second ring. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Now I'm ready for the top ring that I just got finished filing. This is number 4. I want to confirm I've got the top of the ring, and I do. No burrs. And now I've got the rings on number 4. Getting some things mocked up on the 48 Ford here. Thought I would just kind of give you a quick idea of what's going on. Doing some work on the inside. We had to make as a mount for the Fuel Tech ECU, and we got as a spot for the O2 display for the driver's side and passenger side. And we're going to redo some of this electrical work, messing with some carpet right now. We got the parachute cable and release handle installed. We still got to weld in this mild steel though. Give you a little bit of an idea about the 48 Ford here. We're also doing some work on the brakes. So we've got everything tore apart. The shop is a mess. And we're also changing out the gear while we've got everything apart. So we got an absolute mess here in the shop. But anyways, just kind of wanting to give you an idea of what's going on. We have put a parachute on it. We got the mounting all right here, and of course this goes through and is welded to the back half of the car, attached to the frame. So, and I think you've already seen a picture of the wings, but try to keep some pressure on these slicks. Try to keep some load on these slicks for sure. Some of you may remember this place, Walterboro drag strip. And we got an old motor sitting in here right now, so we can mock up the headers so that I can mark some locations on where we're going to put the O2 sensors for the wideband O2 sensors for both sides. So we're having to mock that up. We did move to a front-mounted fuel cell and built the bars around that, and we've got an 1.5 inch mild steel bar thick wall tubing that will go around the front of the car. We don't have that on right yet. But we're getting there. Thought I'd just give you a quick little video of what's going on. Today I was able to get back on the piston rings and finish up all of the filing of the rings for the 48 Ford. In addition, we also did some video to show you a little bit more about the 48 Ford, what's going on with it. We've got the center section out of the 9-inch rear end. We are changing the 456 gears out now that we're going with 22 pounds of boost. We didn't want to launch that bad boy with a turbo 400 and 456 gears. So we are going with some 389 gears. So while we had the center section out, we went ahead and put some grease on it and just checked the pattern on those 456 gears. We were just curious to see how those gears were doing, how they were wearing. We did find the pattern, the pinion gear is a little deep, a little deeper than we wanted it based on the pattern we just seen today. So we're going to keep that in mind when we put this 389 in. The gear's not hurt. The gear worked great. We had no problems with it, no gear noise, nothing like that. You'll see on the video there's no damage anywhere on the teeth or anything, but take a look. Thanks, guys.